Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla. What's going on here? What's going on? Well, I'm gonna give you my books, all the books that I've been reading in November. I promise, I know the months. And I'm gonna go on Goodreads because I don't actually know what I've read and we don't need to judge me. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the books that I read in November / the books I'm planning to read in December. And we are, I don't know, we're gonna get into it. I'm very, very excited. Thank you for being here. Okay, so the first book that I finished in November was actually The Hunger Games. And so I don't have it, I only have book 2 with me. So The Hunger Games, wherever that ends up on the screen. I loved The Hunger Games so much. I fell in love with Katniss, I fell in love with Peeta, and I feel like I knew Gale more. I'm thinking about the movie because I just watched the movie yesterday, and so I'm thinking about the movie compared to the book, and they made Gale such a star, or Suzanne Collins made Gale such a star in the book, and then in the movie, they kind of didn't really let him show. I guess it'll kind of come up in the second movie. I don't know. But anyway, it was a really good read. I loved it. I was reading it in tandem with other kind of weird dystopian things. Not that I finished, but just things, you know. And one of those was also The Handmaid's Tale. It was a good time. It was the perfect read for the moment. The first time I read this book, I don't know if I finished it, and it wasn't because the book wasn't good. Obviously, I inhaled it in like a day and a half. It's because I think I just wasn't in the headspace to receive, because I think I read this in like 2020, and I think I don't know. I just couldn't do it yet. I just couldn't do it yet. It is what it is. It's fine. It's okay. Everything's fine. But even though I did enjoy this, it also like really does feel pretty close to home. And so what's there to say about this? I don't know. It was just a good time. Everybody knows the story of The Handmaid's Tale because if you haven't read the book, you've watched the show. And if you haven't read the book or watched the show, you have, you know, been greeted probably in 2020 or so, you know, and somebody said to you, we've been sent good weather. May the Lord open, whatever, blessed day. I still say this stuff to my sisters all the time and we respond appropriately, and it's so funny how that works out. But what really informed this reading experience was the fact that everybody else was reading it along with me. This was Dua Lipa's book of the month for this month, and so she did an interview through Service or Station 95, you know I never get it right, but she did an interview with Margaret Atwood on the book. It was a good time, they had a good time, the book was great, obviously, and Dua Lipa read this in tandem with Margaret Atwood's new release of her life story, and so it'll pop up somewhere. And so it was just an all-around good time, just feeling like I was reading in community, which I mentioned last month was really important to me. So yeah, I really enjoyed my reading experience. The last book I read this month was The Selection. This was a good time. I think it was my last video that or 2 videos ago, I was like, it was this video, that one, where I talked about how like I had to put this book down. I just didn't enjoy myself. I didn't like it. It wasn't a good time, but in actuality, it kind of was a good time. And I did start, I had been recording a vlog while I was reading it, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to like finish it and like put it out, or if I want to just like let it rest. I don't really know what to do there, but I was really drawn into Maxon, I think his name is. Maxon. I really liked America. She was very, very like typical heroine to me in terms of like, you know, being different and like not like other girls, and I really liked it. I liked that trope. I was kind of here for it. I'm generally here for that trope. I also just really enjoyed the interplay between her and Maxon, because Maxon, I don't know, he's just like a good guy. He's just a good guy. And so I'd like to see what happens next. I will be continuing on with the series. I'm trying to decide if I continue on with it like soon, or if I give myself a little time. At the very least, I'll probably wait until the new year, I think. I feel like I'll probably wait until the new year, unless I read it audio. And so I'll let you know. But I don't know. So that's what I got. So those are the 3 books I read this month. It was a slower reading month for me. I'm putting this up because I don't have the other one. It was a slower reading month for me. Thumbnail. But that's because I think I told you guys I had taken on a work project and it was challenging, and it was definitely, we'll get into that later. Let's keep on with the book stuff, with the reading stuff. We'll talk about that stuff later. What else is going on? Oh, I have to talk about what I'm going to be reading in December, which is so weird. Like, it's already practically 2026 and I'm just like, weird. So I have a few books that I've already started, and I continue to just chip away at them. And so I think what we'll do is we'll focus on, let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay, so should I do a TBR jar pull first, or I feel like that makes more sense, and then I'll fill in with what I have. So hold while I go and get that. TBR jar, and we have the little cup that holds my bookmarks / the TBR jar pulls. And so let's start, well, I guess let's look in the little jar and we can see if there's anything I want to toss back in. Okay, so we pulled this last month, The Secret History. We're tossing that one back in. Erased, we started but did not finish. Tossing that back in. That one's a manga. Where's the graphic novel? I gotta look. I feel like it's a graphic novel. I can't remember what direction it goes in. Fangirl, we're tossing it back in. I think a couple of these ran off from October as well. Malibu Burning. Let me sit with that for a second. I might keep that one out because I remember that I wanted to read it ahead of my dad. Rebecca, we are actually reading. We're just reading it slowly. So we'll keep that in the jar, and I don't know that it'll be like a book I finish. Legend board. Ugh, I don't know. Maybe it's just not the right time. It's not because it's not good. It's like, it's my problem. Malibu Burning. Where is that? Where did I put? Oh, I see it. It's you're on it. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I'm really indecisive and I don't know what to do. Here's what we'll do. We're gonna leave it to the side for now. And what we'll do is we'll pull, and if we don't get anything good, we will add Malibu Burning back into the pile. Oh, you guys probably want to see it. Also, I'm going to update this, but I'm waiting until the new year because there are books that are not in here. Okay. Oh, I wanted a blue one. I'm glad it was blue. What does it say? Is it upside down? Is it upside down now? That's the Handmaid's Tale. I think I can take this one out. I think I picked this one up organically. We're going to retire The Handmaid's Tale because we've read it. Actually, we're going to retire it for real and we're going to toss it away. Wow. Look at me finishing a book. That's funny. Okay. What's that? Duck's Newburyport. Oh my God. Where is that book? That's a hefty one. That one. It's hefty. I don't know if I can do this. And it's like, I read that it's like a never-ending sentence or something, and it's over 1,000 pages. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't know. All right, so that's Duck Newberry Report. Let's see what else we can get into. What's that? Oopsie. What does that say? Is it upside down? No, was it right before? I'm so sorry about my handwriting. Runaway. Oh, that's a collection of short stories, and you're on top of it. Hold please while I grab that for you. How are we gonna do this? Just boop. You come down here. You know what? How do you like being down here? How about you remain down here? New angle. How about you remain down here for the rest of the video? We'll move the light, we'll adjust. Okay. I feel like that's fine. Now you can see the stack of books that you were resting upon. It's a big stack. I think this could work. We'll finish off here. I wanted to show you Runaway. If I could just get it out. I think I'm pretty invested in the end of the year being contemplative reads so that I can like set myself up for the new year and like kind of like set myself up for things I want to be thinking about. I'm not, hold on, let me show you the book first. Runaway, collection of short stories by Alice Munro. I heard about it from Benjamin McAvoy, who is a kind of like literary expert that I really trust. But that's one of the books. I'm gonna put it over here next to Ducks, right there. So I'm not somebody who really subscribes to the whole, you know, New Year is my new start thing. I think the new year starts for me on my birthday. So that's just how I think about like beginnings, because I'm about figuring out how I myself can grow and change, and I'm not necessarily, I don't like getting wrapped up into everybody's like New Year's resolutions and into the energy of that, because then I feel like what happens is when everybody else stops, I stop too, because we're like in community in that way. And so I allow the new year to be like a soft reset, but I definitely don't try to make like that the start of anything really for me. And so I say all that to say, like, there's something that feels like not super honest about, like, how do I say this? I'm trying to figure out how to have really good grounding contemplative reads at the end of the year, and allowing myself like a gentle window into everybody else's reset without making it like this thing that puts a lot of pressure on me, because I do that and then it'll fall apart, and I just know it will. So those are my thoughts. Okay, let's pick one more and then we'll go and decide what's realistic and kind of go from there. Okay, we're picking up a green one. I'm trying not to look at it before I show it to the camera, because I just feel like, honesty, right? A something. A Storm of Swords. I knew it was close, because like I've been wanting to read this for a minute now, and I think it would be such a good audiobook read. And I think out of all of the things I have picked, this is the one I want to read the most. But how do we do this? Well, let me tell you what I am reading, and maybe that'll help us decide. I'm going to move you just a little bit one more time, because you're on top of one of the books I need. I put you there. Okay. Hang on. Hold, please. holding. Keep holding on. Nothing you can say. Okay. I think that'll do it. Perfect. Okay, there's a lot going on here, but it's okay. It's fine. So I do want to read A Storm of Swords. I'm going to put that front and center. It might be audiobook, but it's getting read. And I actually think I have the audiobook for this one. And so I think I will start this, and it'll be maybe my first December read. I'm also reading Bleak House because it is the December read for the Hardcore Literature Book Club, which is like the classic literature book club I'm a part of. Here is where we have to start being realistic and figuring out what we really want from ourselves. And so I would like to read Emma, and I think I can read it because I'm going to take it with me this week. So I'd like to read Emma. And then I'd like a couple of contemplative moments. I'd like to finish Frankenstein, but I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it. But I think I will because it's like really short. And then here we go. Okay, we have this. We have Bleak House. Bleak House is going to be a really chunky read for me. So how are we going to do this? This is December, okay? So maybe let's take Emma and Frankenstein out because these guys are coming with me. And so they're not going to be included. This is how I figure out my life, by the way. So we're starting off with these guys. I really, really want to read Mother-in-Law Black. This is one of those reset books I was talking about. Just getting myself in the headspace for a proper, like, new year thought process, whatever. This is like my gentle whatever for myself. I keep saying whatever. And then I really like to read Days at the Murasaki Bookshop because I have been saying this, but I've been told it's gonna heal your heart, and I want to heal. It's been a long year. Okay. And then my last one that I would do is this anthology of poems. It's really important to me to make sure that I am maintaining poetry like in my life. And genuinely what's probably going to happen, because I'm doing a poetry workshop in December, I'm likely going to end up reading like tons more poetry than anything else. But that's okay. We're going to just pop this in here. So these are the books I want to read for December. I think this is a really nice, chunky, perfect, balanced way for me to end the year. And then I'll show you what I read in November. And I think I'll just hold them up like that. So we had all of these and all of these, and look at them together, so beautiful. Maybe we can take a thumbnail of me just surrounded by a bunch of books. Yeah, that's it. These are all the books I read in November. These are all the books I want to read in December. I'm definitely finishing the bottom 3, and here's hoping for the others. And that's really it. Oh, I think that I had a tiny little update, and I can't remember if I had started talking about it or not, so I'm just gonna start talking about it. And yes, so my tiny little update was related to, put this down. My update was related to, I think that doing all of these little fun book challenges is so important. And I think it's a good way to keep yourself engaged in the reading process. And I don't want anybody to think that that's not the case, because it is. It's really important. That being said, I also think it's super important to not let these arbitrary goals take over your life. I myself am super, super guilty of just putting too much on my plate, and you've seen it, right, in these last couple of months that I've been doing this. I put everything on my plate, and if I do, for some reason don't get it done, it's the end of the world. It's like it just upsets me. It's a whole thing. But I am sitting here with just very regular reading goals. My goals are to make sure that I am reading. My goals are to make sure that I'm reading for fun. And my goals are to make sure that I'm reading for education, because I really, really, really want to learn and grow and evolve. And that's not what everybody wants. Everybody doesn't want the same things I want, which is why my reading taste typically is pretty varied. Sorry, I'm just watching these squirrels. Like, what are they up to? Yeah, my reading taste typically is pretty varied because I have different goals than other people have. And whether your goal is, I just want to read, or whether your goal is, I only read nonfiction because I'm just trying to grow, or whether you are somebody who kind of just has a holistic approach to reading, and it's like entertainment, but it's also, you know, growth, whatever it doesn't matter. Like the point is, like, just don't get caught up in the end of the year, like, I must read 150 books by, you know, like, don't get caught up in that. This should be fun, and it should be helpful. It shouldn't be hurting you. It shouldn't be hurting your mental health. It shouldn't be another marker that you're not meeting in your life so that you have another place to be like, oh, woe is me, I'm a horrible person who can't do anything. Like, that's not what this is supposed to be about. And I am only saying it out loud because I just had to check myself, and I pretty constantly have to check myself on getting into that vibe. But like, realistically, I've read 35 books this year, 36 books, something like that. And by the time the year ends, I'll probably only have read 40 books. But that's okay. It's okay to average 3 to 4 books a month. You know, it's okay, or 4 books, I don't know. It's okay to take your time and take things slowly if a book needs to, like, if you need to rest with a book for a little longer and like wrestle with it, and like, that's okay as well. So just like, don't let the end of the year energy get to you and make you feel like you have this like clock you're racing up against, because it's just toxic and unhealthy. Okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk, and thanks for being here today. Every time I hear somebody say that, it reminds me of the Princess Diaries. Thank you for being here today. Anyway, yes, weird, chaotic energy. I'm gonna see. This is like my second to last video, like this of the year. And that's just so weird and wild to me. So we might have a couple of 24-hour reading vlogs, because I really want to make sure that I stay on top of reading Bleak House. We might have, I don't know, you know, I'm just figuring it out as I go. So who knows what's going to happen here. But thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for, yeah, just thanks for being here. If you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, I just want to know why, because we should be friends. And if you haven't liked my video but you listened to me talk for this long, that's confusing. And so let's change that. let's change that. Yeah, so like or subscribe and check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.